What is going on? Welcome back to Call of Duty News for your Warzone Weekly. This week, everything you need to know about Season 2, when it's coming out, what's going on, how it's going to happen. So let's get into it. So first of all, Season 2, February 15th now. It got delayed by 2 weeks, so it's now out on February 15th, which is normally about 5 p.m. over here in the UK, comes out most updates. So I'd probably expect it around about the same time. So first off, globally, across like all sort of platforms of Call of Duty, they're saying that a lot of PC players are having audio issues. This is mainly towards the type of sound output. Apparently, a lot of players were having mono sound output rather than stereo. Apparently, they've addressing that. Talking about new bundles in the store, it's like all your user interface stuff, your friends list and sort of stuff like that weren't working quite right. So first big one, weapon balancing. At the point of this game, at the point of this season coming out, February 15th, the game would have been out for 4 months.
Yeah, November 16th, I think it came out.
Something like that, yeah. So 4 months of the same meta of the RPK, the pistols, the Fennec. If you want to throw the Lachman sub in there as well, maybe. But yeah, the weapon balancing has to happen. I think the RPK will get nerfed into the ground, as will the pistols, as will the Fennec, because they will want something completely fresh. The players want something completely fresh.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to happen. It's in Call of Duty history with Warzone, when something's been a meta for a long period of time, they kill it. It's gone. That gets nerfed, and you never see it again. You never hear of it again. Until in 6 months' time, someone makes a video of going through old metas. Because it always happens. It happens every time.
Yeah, you see the old title, like, this gun is back, and it's like,
it's not.
No, it's not. You're just cracked, mate. Like, we're rest of us.
You're insanely good, and that's why you make it look good.
Yeah.
Same as every other video that's not meta and they tell you it is. But nonetheless, weapon balancing is happening. Bringing up a point that's going to come up later on in this blog. So, weapon balancing, I think, needs to happen is sniper rifles. So, as we'll get to pretty soon, there's no longer the ability to find a 3-plate vest. Everybody spawns with a 3-plate vest. Why is 3-plate vest so hard to say? Everybody spawns with a 3-plate vest in. They're no longer lootable. You have them all the time, which means sniper rifles no longer have the opportunity to be a one-shot headshot at all. Previously, if you had 2 plates in, you could still get a one-shot, but now you just can't. So I'm hoping in that weapon balancing, sniper rifles are tuned slightly to have the possibility of a one-shot headshot. Like with a sniper rifle, I think, I don't know, up to 150 meters, say, up to 150, 200 meters. I don't know, but
they could just do what they did in Warzone 1, where it was like these certain snipers, like the Kar 98 is a headshot up to, what was it, a 48.5.
Yeah,
and then like your bigger, heavier snipers can headshot up to 120, 150, whatever.
Yeah.
Like maybe do something like that so that your SPRs and your sort of marksman rifle snipers aren't a bit oppressive.
I don't think marksman rifles should be a one shot at all.
No.
Don't get it wrong. If you want to talk realism thing, yeah, fine, they should be. But this is Warzone. It's not a realism game.
No.
I think your heavy rifles, your SPX-80, your Victus, MCPR, is it 300 or whatever it is?
Yeah.
I think those 4 should have the one-shot ability. Because of the fire rate of the other one, the Signal 50, I don't think it should have it, because I think the fire rate's too fast.
Yeah, that'd be a bit mad if that thing could. You'd see some mad clips if that could one-shot headshot.
Yeah, that'd be
down a whole squad in like one mag.
Yeah. So I don't think that should do, but I'm interested to see what happens with weapon shooting nonetheless. The Gulag. Gulag is changing from a 2v2 to a 1v1 system, the same as before, with some other interesting points. So they've gone back to the flag domination point rather than the jailer, the same as before. But what you're getting is your old Gulag back. That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
There's no more jailer. It's a flag in the middle to capture at the end if you want to. It's a 1v1 experience. They are also bringing back assault rifles, submachine guns, LMGs as primary weapons. You will always have a pistol as a secondary weapon in the Gulag, but there will be no more shotguns. Shotguns have been removed. So that'll be interesting to see a bit of variation in the Gulag. I know that's something that you're quite keen for. So that'll be a bit more interesting. Also, another point here, for those leaving the arena victorious from the Gulag, it will grant a larger cash reward to players. This change to cash will allow redeploying players to get back on their feet a bit faster. I think that's very good. I do like that. There's not the regame is difficult. Everybody knows it's a point that's been brought up 1,000 times already. The regame is difficult with the low cash amount, which they do address in just a second as well. There'll also be cash in the Gulag, so there'll be cash points in the Gulag on the floor. You might be able to pick yourself up, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 to 2,000, depends on how they do it, but that'll be interesting as well. Then they come on to cash economy. So addition to the Gulag cash outlined above, and the balancing carries over into the cash economy. So now your lootable ground loot, so just the loot that you can see on the floor, the minimum will now be $800, and from cash registers your minimum will now be $500. Previously these were $100 minimums. I think that was definitely needed. With the economy system, I think they either needed to put cash amounts up or drop prices, but what they're actually doing is doing both. In a post they put the other day, it said they're raising cash and lowering prices. I don't think both was needed. I think maybe it's a bit of an extreme, but I suppose they're just trying to give people what they want, and then they can balance again a little bit later on maybe.
So they're kind of doing what I've said to you a few times, like just in game. Like, I just wanted to see the minimum amount of cash be $500. I think I'm pretty sure that's what it was in Warzone 1. There was nothing lower than 500.
500s.
Which was, and the cash system was pretty fine in that game. Like, I never felt like I'm scrambling for cash, only if it was like really late. But yeah, it's a bit. I feel like 800 minimums is actually quite a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
And if they're going to increase like the amount of cash drops as well, like
they don't actually say they're increasing drops. Which, to be fair, I think if you're increasing cash by that amount, I don't think you can put more of it on the floor as well.
I'm just surprised to see 800. I feel like that's quite generous, but
I agree.
Along with the slash prices, I guess what you said, they'll revisit it, and if it's way too much money going around, I'm sure they can track data on that, and it's surprising.
Cash can now no longer be found in your basic and legendary supply boxes. You'll still get out of your white supply boxes, but your orange boxes and basic ones you won't get. Can be acquired via ground loot, containers, and white stronghold supply boxes. So I suppose that's their method of balancing there. But we'll see how it goes. I'm sure somebody will complain somewhere. There'll obviously be lots of feedback, and they'll continue to monitor it and buff it or nerf it as accordingly. Looting inventory, obviously a big talking point about Warzone 2 as a whole for the last 4 months is the looting and the inventory system. So you're now not going to have any looting windows. So when you go up to a loot box now, it will spill out onto the floor, same as it did in Warzone 1, the old the vomiting loot system as they describe it. It just spills out onto the floor, and you can just see and select what you want. You get no more interface come up, and when people die, they will no longer drop a backpack on the floor to go through. All of their loot also just goes over the floor. That is because there is no more medium or large backpacks. They are also gone now. You have your one size backpack from the start, and then that's it. Everyone has the same size backpack. They explain in this little paragraph right here that it is to combat obviously the stacking of mad. You get a large backpack and you're stacking kill streaks and you're stacking 6 self revives, and yeah, it's obviously that's the self revive stacking has been a big issue in Warzone.
Yeah, it did get a bit silly, especially if you like, observatory. You like get right up the top on observatory. If no one's got an airstrike, you just keep getting up and keep getting up, and
Yep.
it's like it did get a bit. I know, like we already said, Warzone's not a realism game, but it did get a bit silly that you can down someone like 4 times and they just keep getting up. It's like,
Yeah, but
okay,
just for gameplay mechanics, it's just not.
yeah,
It's just not the one. It doesn't make for a great experience.
Nah.
So that's being addressed in the looting inventory system. Yeah, so no more backpacks. All your loot is now spilling out onto the floor. No more user interface for that. For your loadouts, you are now getting customizable perk packages. So rather than just selecting those pre-made ones that you have to select now, you'll be able to go into it as you did with Warzone 1 and say, I want this perk 1, this perk 2, this perk 3. And do them that way, which is nice. Obviously, it's what we wanted all along. It's what everyone's wanted because it's what we always had before. And being restricted obviously just wasn't the plan. Primary weapons will continue to be available at buy stations, but now at a more affordable price point, so that players can pursue victory with their most desired weapons. We also remain happy with the introduction of loadout drop markers. Though we have taken a careful look at the price point, the price of loadout drop markers has been slightly reduced so that respective squad sizes can be acquired to their full loadouts at fast pace. In addition, on extremely rare occasions, players may find one while looting through Al Mazrah. A second loadout drop public event was also been added, which means drops will now happen in the first and fifth circles in each match. So loadout drops are first and fifth circle, which is the same as they were in Warzone 1. What we're getting is Warzone 1 with a new skin. That's what we're doing now, right? That's what they've gone back to. They've gone, okay, you actually hated almost all of the changes we made, so here's your other game back. But nonetheless, sidetracked. You get first and fifth circle. You'll be getting a loadout drop event happen. They drop from the sky. You can go pick one up. They're now unlimited in the buy station. There's no limit to the amount you can buy, and they're cheaper. And then you can also, very rarely, but you'll be able to loot a loadout marker from a box or a bag. Maybe you get them from the white boxes, the loadouts, sorry, the strongholds and black sites. So that'd be interesting. I think, especially at the start of the game, obviously with the introduction of loadout markers they did and stuff was different. At the start of the game, loadouts were very difficult. When Warzone 2 first came out. So I'm glad that's being addressed, as it's a massive part of the game. And then here we are with the 3-plate vests. 3-plate vests are completely gone. Everyone starts with a 3-plate vest on effectively. So they are no more. Movement change. You now move slightly faster while you are plating, and you can now, because of the faster movement while plating now, that allows you to bash through doors that you couldn't do previously. If you was escaping a fight, trying to wrap around the building and back in, you had to stop plating, open the door, and then continue plating again. So that's a nice little quality of life change there. I like that. Buy stations, in order to make buy stations and the goods easier to access, we've revamped our approach. Spawn locations have been added and adjusted. Spawns will be static across the map, and loadout drop markers are being made unlimited stock at all stations. As always, we'll continue to monitor. So as we said, but they're being added and adjusted, and they're going to be static from now on. Strongholds. The strongholds loot AI have been adjusted at strongholds for one. They're now not as combatant. Or they will combat you as much as before, but they're not going to be as accurate, not going to do as much damage. And then they've adjusted the rewards that you're getting from completing the strongholds. So yeah, before you got a backpack each, which obviously you won't get now because they don't exist, but you got a plate box each, a gas mask each. What else? You got like loads of stuff.
Like usually UAV, another kill streak.
Yeah, loads of cash.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been adjusted as well. But that's everything for actual Warzone. DMZ enemy tuning. So yeah, in DMZ they've also tuned the AI combatants as well, the same as they did in Warzone, because people were getting absolutely destroyed in DMZ by some of the bots. When there was a big group of them, they absolutely ripping people to pieces. So yeah, they've been adjusted. So I'm sure they'll just take some feedback on that and then either adjust them more. If they're not hard enough anymore, then they'll raise them back up. Spawn points in DMZ. We're tuning some of the infill points across Al Mazrah for improved early match experience based on gameplay data. Starting at a point at which your squad feels isolated or without loot and contract opportunities is not the best experience. So yeah, you're going to spawn a bit closer to loot. You're not going to have to run miles at the start of the game. Basically get you into the game faster. There's nothing worse in any game than spending the first 5 minutes running somewhere.
AZ.
No, Daisy is just running. You're running for hours. But yeah, there's nothing worse than just spending the first 5 or 10 minutes running somewhere to die and go, oh well, that was a waste of time.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see how that plans out, and hopefully they've done a good enough job of it. Mission difficulty tuning. What they've changed is the ramp of the faction mission. Apparently a lot of complaints about the ramp being too aggressive. They got too hard too fast for people securing the second insured weapon slot. So that's being adjusted. The scaling of the difficulty on the mission isn't so aggressive anymore, and more people should be able to do it. So if you haven't got your second insured slot yet on DMZ, it's not going to be as aggressive, and you should be able to now in season 2 progress a bit more to get that a bit easier. Crashes, get a lot of game crashes, which means people were losing their weapons and their contraband. So the game crashes have been fixed. Oh, I say they've been fixed. They say they're working on fixing them. Season will refresh. All new missions are coming to Season 2, including a refresh of your current faction mission progress. An inventory, which is contraband and keys reset. We'll be detailing all the need-to-know intel for DMZ ahead of the Season 2 in an upcoming blog. There's a new location for DMZ as well, so you have 3 options for location now, which will be nice. I'm always a fan of them adding. As soon as they add in more locations, more things to do, I think it's always a winner. I don't think you can go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Audio and multiplayer. Improvements for audio and multiplayer, because they are never good enough. Like, the audio is never good enough, right?
No.
And even if you've got the best audio going, someone's going to complain about it anyway. Obviously, we know Call of Duty has not great audio anyway. But even if you've got the best, someone will have an issue. Perk balancing in multiplayer. So your perks now reduces bonus perk cost by 50% and the ultimate cost by 25%. They are saying that this adjustment will allow players to get Ghost earlier in matches, which will better support players looking to engage more aggressively. I think it did take a while, to be fair, but I don't think it was a huge issue. But
no,
people are used to having their perks at the start of the game. From when you load in, people are used to having perks. So I think they're trying to keep their system and then give people kind of what they want by getting them a bit earlier in the match, which I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with people having them at the start or waiting for them. So yeah, I think that's fine.
I just find the line about getting Ghost earlier in the matches, which will support more aggressive gameplay. Have you seen the people that use Ghost? And do you know how they play the game? Because they do not get ghost and be like, I'm gonna run out and go aggressive now. They sit in corners. But
Yeah. Um,
yeah, I don't
yeah, I
know.
suppose there's a part of, I suppose there's some people, right, who want ghosts so they can just sprint till their heart's content without being detected. There is also a lot of people on Call of Duty who will just have ghost so they can sit in the corner of a room.
Yeah,
Especially on this game, I feel like this game's a bit more sitting in the corner of the room kind of game.
yeah.
Weapon balancing. There is 5 new weapons coming to season 2 in the next few weeks. So that'll be interesting. Every season's new weapons are interesting, right? You always hope that those new weapons are going to be the ones to add some excitement to the game. That you always want them to be the new meta. You always want them to be the new meta.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Yeah, 5 new weapons and more weapon balancing, same as in Warzone.
I hope that the new weapons coming do add a bit more of a splash, because to me,
Yeah.
like, the Chimera hasn't done anything. The
No.
M13 has, it's, you know, good at long range in Warzone, but it's still it's not meta at all.
No.
Like, it's a viable gun, but it's not meta. Like,
I assume that the 5 new weapons is going to be like the M13. You're going to have 2 in the battle pass. You'll have 2 maybe mid-season, and then 1 which will be a DMZ unlock, like the M13 is.
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But I just hope that there's something that kind of works its way in, or is just a bit more interesting, really.
Yeah.
Maybe an old classic will come back, like, you know, your G360 or something exciting like that.
Yeah.
Like, something quite cool like that.
I'd like a new. I'd like a new sniper that actually does something, but none of them do anything at the moment, right? But yeah, I'm always excited for new weaponry in the game and seeing how that goes. And then hardcore. Hardcore is back and it is fully replacing Tier 1 mode. Tier 1 mode will be completely gone. Hardcore, as it was before, is back in. I know you hated Tier 1. I actually liked Tier 1. I liked the raw, you see nothing, just play your way and, like, just go. But yeah, hardcore's back. I was always a hardcore player before, so I'm fine with hardcore being back, and I think obviously a lot of people will be very happy about it. There's gonna be a couple of playlists. Their Valentine's Day playlist that they're having, which you'll assume would be some sort of 2v2 mode. Detailing multiplayer modes coming to season 2 in the coming weeks. And then 1 week per month, Infinity Ward will be creating a Twitter poll for fans to vote on one of that week's playlists from a rotating pool. So that'd be interesting. And then ranked play. They've said about ranked play since before Modern Warfare 2 came out, right?
Yeah.
There's been talk of ranked play since before Modern Warfare 2. So last week we confirmed ranked play, a deep multiplayer experience done in partnership with Treyarch, Call of Duty League, and Infinity Ward is coming to season 2. Details on ranked maps, modes, and more will be revealed prior to launch. I'd be interested to play some ranked play. I'd be very interested. So to seeing what kind of modes they play will be good. And then they've got a little thing of looking forward, which is obviously they're monitoring everything all the time. And on February 8th, there'll be a big post with including the full season 2 patch notes to get you ready. It comes out on 15th, and these patch notes come out on the 8th. We will have a video at that day on everything that's going on. So like and subscribe so you don't miss the video, and we'll get that out as soon as we can for you. So yeah, that is February the 8th for the full review of everything that's happening. Is full season 2 patch notes, February 8th. So hit subscribe and we'll let you know about those. And that is everything for season 2. Guys, thanks for sticking with us. It's a long one today, but we've got all of your information in there. If you had a good time, share it with a friend, let us know, and like and subscribe. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Bye.